Practice automation tip number 3 is next. So that tip is going to be combining niches through practice automation. What do I mean by that? So back in the day before automation existed in my practice, when we were doing knee pain, weight loss, functional medicine, neuropathy, decompression, chiropractic, all the niches inside the practice, what would happen is if a patient presented with neuropathy and needed chiropractic, they're already coming in the office 3 to 4 times a week for neuropathy because they needed that frequency of care to get good results. And then they would still have to add on chiropractic to their visit. So they're in the clinic probably literally an hour and a half when we had everything inside the practice. Same thing if someone came in for decompression and needed weight loss. They had to come for decompression visits. They had to come in the office and meet the nutritionist and go through what they ate. They had to log their foods, bring in their food logs, and sit down with our team and go over how they're doing with the weight loss program. So everything was inside the practice. They had to come to weekly seminars on wellness topics that we did to learn about the program and how to have better lifestyle changes. So all these things were shoved inside the practice multiple times during the week. And then they had to come in on their off times for the seminars, for the consultations. So a lot of time and energy for the patient to be able to come in the practice. So that being said, when we started shifting 90% of the patient care online and at home for a lot of these niches, it allowed that patient to free up their time in the practice. And now we can add another niche, such as chiropractic or decompression. So combining 2 niches is really easy with hybrid models for clinical care and using practice automation online and clinical care at home. And now you can build a bigger case fee and help patients with more conditions and make sure you're not leaving any healing on the table and any money on the table for your practice. So let's jump into this practice automation tip. So let's get started. All right, guys. So practice automation tip number 3, combining niches through practice automation. Systems, automation, hybrid at-home and clinic models, online education is going to give you the ability to combine niches, build bigger case fees, help more people at one time, help more conditions at one time, and really not doing the work for 2. You're only doing the work for 1 because of the automation, because of the systems, because of the online education. So let's look at Dr. A and Dr. B on this one. Obviously for a long time, I tried to be Dr. A, but it created so many bottlenecks. So we were very limited in how many things we could do in the practice, because if we decided to do combining niches in the practice with the old analog system, everything in the practice, all the visits in the practice, all the education in the practice, it just created a lot of bottlenecks, a lot of stress on the staff, or we just had to hire more staff. I mean, we had probably at one point, 5 or 6, 7 people just on the rehab floor, just controlling the neuropathy stations that the patient had to go through in the office. Now, 90% at home. We don't have to worry about that. So look at Dr. A. Dr. A trying to combine niches in the old analog system that has a lack of systems to function smoothly, twice the visit time, twice the staff time, twice the staff, and more doctor time involved in that. Dr. B on the time and energy, let's do a very simple math. 20 patients per month have dual conditions. Very realistic. Most people have more than one thing going on. Most people that have low back pain are overweight. Most people that have knee pain have a lumbar problem. Most people that have neuropathy have a spinal issue or a joint issue. A lot of opportunities to combine niches. Most people have a metabolic component alone that they need to be addressed. 90% of Americans have a metabolic condition going on. So why can't we just add that metabolic component to the case fees and be able to shift all that stuff online and have nothing to do with it in the practice? So 20 patients a month, let's say, have dual conditions. Let's say we're treating 2 conditions with the efforts of 1. That's obviously what's going on with practice automation. 10 hours per month saved with this, just on the doctor's time, not even including the staff time. Just on the doctor's time, let's say $200 per hour that you make. That's $2,000 per month revenue gained with just saving the doctor's time on how much extra time they're using on a dual condition patient per month. Let's not even talk about the staff. How many more staff you need, how much more staff attentive time they need on the patient. If you equal that, that's a lot more money saved in value on a monetary standpoint for hours spent treating dual conditions in the practice with not having any systems online and at home. So let's look at collections and money. On the Dr. A, you're leaving healing on the table, okay? You're literally not helping patients as much as you really can if you don't have the right systems. Leaving collections on the table. You're literally leaving, thousands of dollars each patient that comes through the door. Because think about it. Patients go to the doctor and they have this problem, and then they go through an exam and figure out they have 3 problems, and then they end up on 3 medications, or they have a surgery scheduled or go to 2 other specialists. So that being said, we have a lot of opportunity when patients walk through the door that if someone presents with one condition, more in chances than none, they're going to have another condition that we can combine and help them with both at the same time. Collections of money on Dr. B. Let's look at this. So combining niches, you can start with, you can add any metabolic component to any program, any niche. Well, let's give you some examples. Functional medicine onto neuropathy, chiropractic, decompression, weight loss onto the knee pain, weight loss onto decompression. Because every pound you're overweight is what? 4 pounds on the weight-bearing joint. Straight from the Mayo Clinics. The number one cause of joint degenerative disease is being overweight. If they have leaky gut, there's tons of studies out there that show leaky gut actually accelerates the degenerative process in other chronic conditions. So we got to address the gut if we need to. So just adding metabolic components on to any niche is a huge opportunity. That's where a lot of our clients start with. And they gain an extra 10, 15, 20, sometimes $30,000 a month in collections just by adding a metabolic component to their other care, just to chiropractic. So let's give you some examples. Neuropathy with Spinal Care. Most neuropathy patients have a spinal issue. Either decompression or chiropractic can be added on. Knee pain with Spinal Care. Most people with knee pain problems have a neurological component coming from the lower back because the lumbar spine, when compressed, the neurological component is decreased. The stabilizing muscles of the knee isn't getting the information that it needs. They start atrophying faster, collapsing the knee, causing OA of the knee. So now you have dual case fee opportunity where knee decompression, knee and chiropractic, and now you have dual case fees, but the majority of the knee program is at home. 90% of it's online and at home. So you're only treating 1 visit a week for the knee pain in the office and then adding on decompression and chiropractic. And now you have a case fee of upwards of $8,500 for double case fee. You're giving them a discount on the second cash program, but that's an incentive for that patient. That patient can say, okay, I'm going to save $1,500 by treating both conditions at once and maximizing my time in the office, and the doctor's going to incentivize me to do that. So that's another opportunity. You can do knee plus Spinal Care plus weight loss. Say they have a lumbar problem and they have a weight issue. Well, you have 3 conditions that need to be addressed to really fully correct this knee pain problem. You can give them options. I'm not saying that you have to go in with one option and say this is the only option. Say, Barry, you can maximize your time here for this, or you can just address your knee pain with this. So you give the patient options. You never want to try to force them into one big program. You give them an option. You incentivize them to let them save money by maximizing their time in the office there at the current time. And then they both win. The patient wins, you win, you collect more money, you help them with more conditions, and everyone's happy. Decompression and metabolic, obviously we talked about that before. Adding any metabolic component to a structural problem is easy. 90% of your patients probably need this. So let's do some math. 10 patients times an average of $3,000 extra per case. You're looking at $30,000 per month just by combining niches. This is where a lot of our clients go from great to excellent, is being able to master this philosophy and combine niches. So when we look at the total revenue, just by saving the doctor's time, not even including the staff time, and the opportunity to combine niches, you have a $32,000 per month opportunity to gain for revenue gained and a monetary value in a combining niches through using practice automation strategies such as the online education, the home care, the hybrid models where they're only coming in the office once a week for the majority of these niches, and then adding the niches that take more time in the office like decompression, chiropractic, or maybe both niches don't require much time in the office, such as knee pain and metabolic. They're still only coming in the office once a week. They're going through the metabolic online. They're doing their home care for knee pain at home and doing their home care for knee pain as well. So a ton of opportunity for combining niches. This is exciting, guys. There's a lot of doctors that are killing it with this concept, and this is where you're really going to take your office and your clinic to the next level. So when we talk about the freedom standpoint on these, Dr. A, needs, he just needs more patients to survive. Okay. His goal is to get more patients versus maximize the patient. He can't maximize the patient because he doesn't have the systems to do so. So he needs more patients, which means more time, more energy, and then just less freedom. Because the more patients he has to put them in the antiquated analog system that he has, which creates less freedom for him and his staff in his office. So when we look at having practice automation strategies and systems in place and combining niches, we're maximizing the patient potential, okay, and Dr. B. When we maximize the patient potential, we don't need a ton of new patients because we are maximizing the potential of the patient that comes in the door with the proper systems. And that creates family freedom, more hobbies, and become a better CEO of your practice because you're not having to hang your hat on 100 new patients a month to survive. And we just only need a few patients and make sure we're maximizing them. Now, we have doctors that still get 50, 60, 70 new patients a month and still doing this. And these are the doctors that are collecting, $200,000 a month. So I hope that makes sense, guys. There's a lot of opportunity with this.